Deep in the heart of Mari village, life moved at a peaceful rhythm. The villagers were farmers and traders, their days filled with work and their evenings with laughter. In this village lived Bako, a young man full of life and promise. He was the only son of Baba and Mama Bako, hard-working farmers who loved their son dearly. Bako had just completed his apprenticeship as a mechanic in the city and was ready to start his own workshop. He was strong, full of dreams, and the pride of his parents. One evening, Bako decided to visit a friend in a neighboring town. The sky was darkening and the rain clouds gathered, but he was determined to go. His mother warned him, "Bako, the road is dangerous at night. Wait till morning." But Bako only smiled. "Mama, I will be back soon." As he rode his motorcycle down the slippery road, the rain began to pour. The wind howled through the trees, and the headlights of a speeding truck cut through the darkness. The truck, its a driver barely in control, veered into Bako's lane. The collision was brutal. Bako's body was flung into a ditch, his blood mixing with the muddy water. By the time villagers arrived, he was lifeless. Oh no. The news spread quickly, and sorrow filled Mari village. His parents wept, and his body was buried behind the family house. "Our only son is gone," Mama Bako wailed. But was he really gone? Years passed, far from Mari village, in a bustling city of Roma. A man lived Jaji, was known for his skills as a carpenter. He was admired for his handwork, honesty, and quiet nature. Jaji had no memory of his past, or at least he never spoke of it. He simply appeared in Roma. One day, he met Tani, a beautiful and kind woman. She was drawn to his quiet strength, and he to her warmth. Their love blossomed, and soon they were married. Years later, they had 2 children, a boy, Musa, who looked exactly like Jaji, and a girl, Kira, who had his eyes and smile. Their home was filled with laughter and love. But there was one thing that troubled Tani. Jaji never spoke about his family. Whenever she asked about his past, he would find a way to change the topic. Tani had grown tired of the mystery. One evening, as they sat in a small living room, she finally confronted him. "Jaji, our children are growing. Don't you think it's time they met their grandparents?" she asked. Jaji stiffened. "Tani, we have our life here. Why dig into the past?" "But I don't even know your past. Where are you from? Who are your people?" she pressed. Jaji sighed and rubbed his temples. "My family is far away. There is no need to disturb them." Tani was just not satisfied. She knew there was more to the story, and she was determined to find out. The pressure from Tani increased each time she brought up the topic. Jaji grew more distant. Eventually, he could no longer bear it. "Fine," he said one evening. "We will go. I will take you and the children to my village." Tani was overjoyed. She began preparing for the journey, excited that she would finally meet her husband's family. That night, Jaji was different. He was unusually affectionate. He held Tani close, played endlessly with the children, and kept telling them how much he loved them. "Jaji, why are you acting like this?" Tani asked, laughing but confused. He smiled softly. "Because I love you all deeply and I will always be with you." His words sent a chill down Tani's spine but brushed it off. She did not know that by morning everything would change. The family set off early. The journey was long, but Jaji remained silent for most of it. He stared out of the window, deep in thoughts. Finally, they arrived at a small village surrounded by lush trees. Jaji's demeanor changed. He seemed tensed, looking around as if expecting something or someone. He stopped near a familiar looking house and turned to Tani. "This is my parents' house. Go in with the children. I will buy bread for my father. He loves bread." Tani nodded, though she found it odd. But before she could say anything, Jaji had already turned away. That was the last time she ever saw him. Tani knocked on the door. An elderly woman opened it. "Good day, Mama," Tani greeted. "I am Tani, Jaji's wife, and these are our children. We have come to see you." The old woman's face turned pale. Her hands trembled. "Jaji?" she whispered. Tani smiled and nodded. "Yes, my husband. He just left to buy bread for Baba." The old woman staggered backward, gasping for air. An elderly man appeared from inside. "What's happening?" he asked. "This woman says she's Jaji's wife," the old woman whispered. The old man stared at Tani, his eyes wild with disbelief. "That is impossible," he shouted. Tani was confused. "Why is it impossible? We have been married for years." The old man shook his head. "Jaji is Bako, and Bako died 10 years ago." Tani felt as if the ground had been pulled from her beneath. "That is not possible," she cried. The old woman rushed into the house and returned with a faded photograph. It was a funeral program. Tani gasped as she saw Jaji's face. Only the name on the program read Bako. She flipped through the pages and her hands trembling. The dates of death matched the timeline of when she had first met Jaji. Tears streamed down her face as reality sunk in her. Her husband had been a spirit all along. Tani ran out of the house, calling Jaji's name. She searched the village, asking everyone if they had seen him, but no one had. She collapsed on the ground, weeping uncontrollably. Her children clung to her, not understanding why their mother was crying so bitterly. The villagers whispered among themselves. Some swore they had seen similar cases before, a dead man living in another town until he was recognized, then disappearing forever. Tani's heart shattered. She would never see her husband again. Tani could not stay in the village. The pain was too much to bear. She took her children and returned to the city. But life was never the same. Every night, she sat by the river near her home, staring into the water, hoping to see Jaji's reflection. But he never appeared. Her love had vanished like smoke, leaving only memories. And so she wept. She wept until the river carried her sorrow away. Let me know, have you experienced such similar cases with your loved ones, or have you heard of things like this happened around you, especially when one died and appearing in another form in a different city, even to a point of marrying, living his normal life, up until when someone whom he knows appeared or sees them, and thereafter it becomes history? Let me know your thoughts on this story. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly remember to share, remember to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.